Hi everyone. We're just gonna wait a bit on to see if any other people will join us. So we're gonna be starting soon. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session on designing with Genetec Streamvault appliance. My name is Bruno. I'm an inside sales engineer based at the HQ of Montreal, the HQ of Genetec in Montreal, and I have with me Howard, who's the Northeast Region Channel Sales Engineer, who's going to be answering any question that you may have upon this presentation. Howard, thank you for helping today. Hope you're doing good.
I am. Thanks, Bruno. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Howard. Good thing it's Friday, almost time for the weekend. So let's get started. But before we do get started, if you have any question, feel free to just type them into the question area that you will see into the webinar section. So as you can see here, you can just click on the drop down and answer your question, and we will be able to answer them. Okay, so here's what you can expect in our time together today. So the agenda is broken into 3 different modules with a quick warp up at the end. We'll start with what is a Streamvault. During this webinar, I'll be referring to documents that will help you on designing with the Streamvault, and I'll place those documents into a window where you will be able to download them at the end. So in the first module, we'll start with the introduction to Security Center, model comparison, and the capabilities of the device, of the appliance. We'll go also through the portfolio of all of the Streamvault device that we have. And also, why should you use Streamvault in the deployment of Security Center? So before we get started, let's do a quick introduction to Security Center. I'm pretty sure most of you already know what it is, but let's go quickly over it. Security Center is a unified platform. So it blends everything into one single platform. So might it be CCTV, access control, license plate, intercoms, intrusion panels, key cabinets, and so on. We have a full list of integration that we can do within our system. It's an open architecture, which basically gives the users the freedom to choose from a large variety of hardware. So depending on your preference, you can go with pretty much everything that you want. And it's highly scalable. Basically, you can go from 1 server to over 100 server if needed be. Security Center at its core blends access control, IP video surveillance, license plate recognition system into an intuitive solution. It connects into a multitude of sensors, device, and other business and security system to present a complete solution for the personal. Security Center is a modular security solution with core capabilities that can be enhanced with Genetec model and modules and partner integration. So basically, even partners can have their own integration built into Security Center. So what is Streamvault? Streamvault is the appliance that we sell that we've been testing and implementing on with our knowledge of how we can how we can best perform on one of the server that we sell. So we have the all-in-one. We have the Analytic appliance. We have the workstation. And we have the archivers. So probably the one that you've been seeing the most being the archiver. So what does this look like? So on this chart, you can see from the left that we have our all-in-one appliance, which is the SV100, which is our low class for smaller system. And then you have the 300, which will increment just a bit more. So like all Streamvault, are genetic appliances that are based on HP, now mostly Dell servers, and they will replace the older SV appliance that some of you might have seen before. The 1000, 2000, 4000, and 7000 series server makeup for the high performance servers known as the rack mount or archiver family. We will discuss them a bit later on all the specification that you can that we can have with them. All of these servers are available in with various capabilities and storage size. So each of these units could fit different solution as small as one single camera or reader up to 1,000 and even 2,000 readers per server. 1,000 camera or 2,000 readers per server, my bad. All Streamvault units will come with a pre-image security center and also will be pre-hardened for the security of the information on a server. In this image, we can see that the various model and their capabilities. Note that the SV100, 300, and 350E units are the all-in-one series, meaning that these are scalable for small entry-level solution up to medium, depending on the number of cameras and reader that you have. But they do lack the ability to scale to larger project where more than one server would be needed. Now that you have a good idea of the extent of the Streamvault portfolio, let's explore each family in detail. Before proceeding to depth of the portfolio, I am going to share with you the Streamvault product catalog so that you can look at it at the same time if you want to. Also, if you have any questions so far, or if Howard, I don't know if you have seen any question.
No questions yet, Bruno.
Okay, so it looks like I'm not able to share the documents right now. So I don't know, Howard, if you can take a look. I do not see the sharing capabilities.
I don't either, Bruno. I'll take a look.
All right, thank you very much. So let's keep on going for now. Also, if need be, the product guide can be found on our portal, so portal.genetech.com. If you do have the login, you will be able to find it in the sales tool. Okay, so let's start with the all-in-one appliance. So basically, all-in-one appliance will mean only one server to do everything. So the all-in-one appliance is made up of 3 different servers. So the SV100, the SV300, and the SV350E, which is fairly new to our world of all-in-one appliance. So the SV100, which is the one for the smaller system. So basically this one will replace the older SV16 for anyone who's seen them before. So this one is an all-in-one package. It comes with a specific license, unified licensing, and the software is embedded from within. So you do not need a cloud link unless you're using the Vertex panel. So this one can do up to 16 cameras and 16 readers, and 32 megabit per second. So we need to be clear on the megabit per second, because you will probably hit that threshold before you hit the number of cameras that you're going to put on that appliance. The SV100 can also be used as a recorder only. So if you have an enterprise system with multiple sites, you could be using on remote location an SV100 as a archiver only, and doing so will allow you to have 100 megabit per second of recording on that appliance. So the SV100 is based on a Dell platform, so the Optiplex. It's got a single drive, so there's no RAID capabilities. So it's a 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, and it can also be seen as be used as a workstation. The SV300E, which is the next model, will be a bit will allow a bit more capabilities. So up to 100 cameras and 100 readers. Again, we need to be careful. So when used as an all-in-one, you can do 64 megabit per second, which you will again probably hit before the number of cameras. So this is when we're using it as an all-in-one in a workstation. If you use it as a recorder only, you will be able to go up to 200 megabit per second of recording on the appliance. Again, this is based on a Dell appliance, and this one can go up to 48 terabytes of storage. Again, there's no RAID, so losing a disk will mean losing information. We can also support analog cards. So if you're doing a takeover from an older system, this one can provide up to 32 analog cameras. The SV350E. So we've came up with a new version of the 350 of the SV300 to basically bring a bit more capabilities. So this one can do up to 100 cameras and 100 readers, but when using as an all-in-one with being a workstation as well as a server, you can go up to 550 cameras and 100 megabit per second. Or again, using it as a remote archiver only, you can do 200 megabit per second. So again, this one is based on Dell. So the storage, although is RAID, so although we say 48 here, it's 29 terabyte usable only. As I was talking before, for the SV300E, we do have the analog cards that can be used for the analog cameras. So either 8 or 16 inputs. And also all of the SV300 appliance will come with the alarm card, which basically will allow you to do RS-45 communication, so any PTZ control. And it was going to have 4 outputs and 8 inputs as well. The all-in-one appliance will usually use the all-in-one package of Security Center. So the all-in-one has all the features of the Security Center standard, but will also include some features from the Pro system. Like you will be able to add plugin, SDK, and thread level. One of the other things to consider is that the all-in-one will also include Sipelia in there. So if you have a small system, want to take over some intercoms, the all-in-one can also do them. So the part number we can see here, so JSC-SV-AIO for the all-in-one, and then the version that you want to have. So these are special part number for the cameras, readers, and analog camera. So basically they cost a bit less. So going with an all-in-one would always be cheaper. And if you want to later on upgrade, we can also do that and upgrade your system to a bigger licensing if needed be. Before I go on, was there any questions so far, Howard?
No questions right now, Bruno.
Thank you very much. So let's go ahead with putting a quote in together for an all-in-one appliance. So here we go, single site with no IT closet. 25 cameras, 2 megabit per second each. All are IP cameras, 10 readers, and we're using 15 days of storage. So we need to have at least about 8 gigabit of storage for that server. So that means the SV100 will not cut it because there's too many cameras and too much storage. So what we need to do is we need to take the SV300E with an 8 terabyte of storage. So then we bundle in with the all-in-one license with 25 cameras, 10 readers, and 0 analog camera. So if we look at this scenario here, basically the reason we're putting the reader connection is we're assuming this is a takeover. Because if you're selling with the hardware, if you were to buy the Mercury panel from us, the license would be included with them and you would not need to put the reader license in here. We also, for the all-in-one appliance, we have a bundle for the Advantage. So you do not have to pay for all of the cameras and all of the reader. It's a bundle made for the SV300 itself. So we have that for the 100, 300, and 350. So now you may have a bit of a better understanding of the all-in-one product and what you need to design a solution with them. So in the next session, we're going to look at the device you may be more familiar with, which is basically the rack mount appliance. So the rack mount appliance or the archivers, depending, will come in 4 different form or 4 series. So we have the 1000, the 2000, the 4000, and 7000. So let's go in for a deeper look at each one of them. So the 1000 series comes with Windows 10. So it's an entry-level appliance for non-mission critical deployments. The SV2000 now gets the upgrade to Windows Server 2019. So this one will be an enterprise grade appliance. This server comes with SATA drive. The 4000E series, which is basically the same as the 2000, except for the hard drive that are a SAS drive. And we can see the numbers down below. So the 1000E can do up to 400 megabit per second of throughput or 200 readers. The 2000 can go 1350 megabit per second and 2000 or 2000 readers, because you cannot put both of them on the same server and do the maximum. And a 4000 is the same thing as a 2000. So the big difference here between the 4000 and 2000 are the SAS drive. So often the SAS drive will offer a better reliability and features for diagnosing issues and keeping the drives online. Let's take a quick look at the ordering information on the part number of the Streamvault. So SV, when we look at the first part, so we have SV, SVS, or SVW. So the SV is a Streamvault appliance, so meaning any servers will start with the SV. The SVS is the storage. So if you were to be using Isilon or SAN storage, it will start with SVS, and the workstation with the SVW. And then we have the numbers ranging from 1,000. Actually, it's going to start with 100 to 7,000, now 11. So all the models with an E means that it's a Dell product. If you still have the list with no E here, this means it's going to be an HP server. The X right after the model number means it has 10 gigabit NIC card. It's going to increase the memory. So instead of a 16 gigabit of memory, you're going to go up to 32, and you will also have dual CPU. So this will allow you to do a lot more throughput on that server. Now, depending on the next here, we have the different ones. So the rack mount short, the minis, the small form factor, are basically for the workstation. The tower is for the workstation, but we also have some variant of the 4,000 and the 2,000 as tower server if needed be. These will limit the number of drives, obviously. I do believe the maximum drive in a tower is 8 only. As we can see, the next number is the number of bays. So in this example, we have up to 18 drives that can be put in that server. Next is the raw storage. So this will be the raw storage of the appliance. So one of the things to consider is you could have on a server, you can have RAID 5, RAID 10, RAID 5, RAID 6, or RAID 10, and this will change the amount of usable storage that you're going to see in your system. The next number is the size of each drive that you're going to have in your system. So in this example, we have 8 drive. So that means that we have 10 times 8 drive for the 80 terabyte of storage. And the last number is the size. Oh, here, the number of processor in this one. So as we can see, 2 processor, and the last 2 digits are for the model of the processor. Any question, Howard? I do see one, I believe.
Yes, there's one I'm writing an answer to regarding whether all-in-one appliances can be upgraded to our regular professional or enterprise packages.
Okay, so yes, the answer is yes. So basically, if you want to upgrade a system, you can contact either the sales engineer or the channel sales team, where we will do a credit of the all-in-one appliance licensing, and then go ahead and change that to a professional or enterprise license, or even a standard if you want to go with the standard one. So just to finish here, so in the above example, we see that we have an SV4000 series. So the model is a 4010. It's a Dell system with a 10 gigabit NIC card. Like I was saying, also it's going to have 32 gigs of RAM and dual processor, as we can see from the last number. So 18 bays available, but we're only using 10 8 terabyte disk, and it's going to be a dual silver CPU. Xeon Silver CPUs. So let's take a look here at the performance of each of the servers. So when we start with the SV1000E, we can have a non-RAID version. So that one will do the recording of 260 megabit per second. So the first part here would be the archiver only, where the other part here, where you can have the directory and archiver on the same server. So let's just start with the first one. So SV1000E 260, when you start going with RAID, is going to increment, and the more drive that you put in there will also increment the number of throughput that you can do with the server. If we go with the SV2000, again, when you have 4 to 7, it's only 300 megabit per second. The redirection is 150 and the playback is 15 megabit per second. So again, what I need to point out is the more drive that you have in the server, the more throughput that you can do. So when we were saying that an SV2000 can do up to 1,350 megabit per second, this is because of the number of drives that we have in here. So this slide is actually not up to date. We do have now a 26 bay drive for the 2000 and 4000 and can go up to, I believe it's 2000 megabit per second as well. So sorry for not updating that one yet, but if you download the latest document of the catalog, you will have the information in there. So when we're saying here that we can do 1.3 gigabit per second or 850 cameras, the reason we're putting the 850 cameras is if you have lower stream cameras, you cannot go ahead. So let's say you have multiple cameras that will do 1 megabit per second of stream output. You cannot put 1,000 cameras in the system. You can only put 850. The reason to that is the more cameras that you have, the more the cameras you have in your system, the harder the server is actually working. So to achieve the 1.3 gigabit per seconds that we see here, you need to have streams of at least 4 to 5 megabit per seconds per camera. So that means 1080p with roughly 15 frames per second and above. Was there any question on that part?
There was just a question, Bruno, about whether the power supplies were part of the number of power supplies were part of the naming convention. Which
No. Okay. So the power supplies, I don't see the answer to the question, but the power supply is basically except for the SV1000 R2 model, all of the power supplies are dual redundant power supplies for everything above the SV1000. 1000 included. For the SV1000 and above, everything is dual power supply. So the SV7000, we did not really go over it. I don't know if I skipped it. Maybe it was not in the slides. But this one is mainly when you have external storage. So this one is when you're using Isilon, NAS storage, or any network attached storage. You want to use the SV7000EX, which will do up to 2000 megabit per second or 1000 camera. So as I was saying before, if you're using lower stream cameras, you will be limited to 1,000 cameras before even hitting that 2000 megabit per second throughput limit. So let me continue here. So now we're going to head to the analytic appliance. So the analytic appliance that we're selling is mainly for the Kiwi section of our system. So the SVA, so basically SVA for analytics, are the appliance that we've built mainly for the analytics. So they got a bit of a better processor, a better memory, and also usually a bit of a better hard drive, SSD hard drive, to be able to process all of the analytics. So as we can see here, the SV100 can do up to 20 privacy protector or 8 intrusion detector. So the intrusion meaning object left behind, perimeter detection, or any kind of intrusion detector that we have in our system. The SV1000E can do 75 privacy protector and 23 intrusion detector. Again, this is always up to, because depending on the stream of the camera, it can be a bit less than that. So if you want to go on a portal, we do have a calculation that can be done on the Kiwi dimensioning of the servers. It will give you exactly what you need for the analytics that you want to run. So here's a closer look at the SVA 1100E. So remember again, the A for the analytic. This is a small form factor that is made from a Dell Optiplex. So it's an i5 with 16 gigs of RAM. This is more processor and RAM than the all-in-one, like I was telling you before. So it's able to do 20 privacy protection stream or 8 intrusion streams. So we do have 2 different models here. So the SVA 110 and 111. So this one will have a bit of a different processor in here. The SVA 1000E. So again, like I was saying, so that one is a Core i7, 16 gigs a RAM, dual 1 gig network cards. And we have different models here. So we do sell them with GPU in them. So we have a single P100 or a single P200 in there. So it will increase, as of now, it will only increase the privacy protection. So as we can see, the increase is not much. We're still working on that. So if you want, if you're selling for Kiwi Analytics and want to be bulletproof for future, you can go with the GPU card, as we will be implementing the GPU decoding for Kiwi in, I believe it's the next version, or if it's not the next one, the one after that. So it should be coming pretty soon, and we will see a bit of better difference in the number of stream that we can do. So as right now, you might not see the advantage of paying more for about 10 or 15 extra stream of privacy protector. But bear in mind that eventually these numbers will increase a bit more, especially for the intrusion detector part. Finally, the SV2000E. So the numbers are exactly the same as the 1000E. It's only if you want to have 2 hard drive, the other one only had 1. So that's really the big difference in between, and all the numbers are exactly the same for the rest. So the final section is the workstation. So because we need to be able to view the video, the analytics, the LPR, we do sell the workstation. So we have 3 different models for the workstation. So we have the SV100E, the 300E, and the 500E. So as we can see, the 100E is a smaller system for up to 5 camera streams, 720p, with 2 monitors. If you want to go with the 300, you can go up to 42 1080p stream on 8 monitors, and the 500E, you'll be able to do 50 streams on up to 8 monitors. I do believe we have more powerful workstation that we do not advertise. So we did come out with the SV300E as a rack mount and the 500E as a rack mount as well. So these will provide maybe a bit more on the numbers of camera stream that we can do. So again, when we're saying 42 stream, it's 42 1080p stream at 15 frames per second. So if you want to display more, we do have, if you go to our tech.hub, we do have a section on automatic stream selection where we're able to display. So when you're displaying, let's say 16 cameras on a single stream, we could be using a lower quality stream from the camera so that you can actually display more or use less of the GPU and CPU of the system. So all of these numbers, when we're saying 42 stream, has been tested with the CPU running at about 80 to 90%. So this way, you're still going to have enough juice to do all of the other work that needs to be done in Security Center. I'm just going to stop if there was any question that needs answering on my part.
No, I think we've got it covered, Bruno.
Perfect. So let's keep on going. So why Streamvault? Because it's more than just hardware. So basically, Streamvault has answers to security, cost of ownership, and designing with confidence. When you put this all together, this is more than hardware. It's a value you add to the customer, making you different and better than the competition. So with Genetech, cybersecurity is not an afterthought. It's design. It's available by design and by default. It's in our DNA. So being up to date, being online is always better. Perimeter defense or air gaps or our old strategy that become obsolete. So even if your system is not connected to the internet or to the outside, it can still be there's still a way people can go in there, and it could be vulnerable to possible attacks. The Streamvault product limits your system vulnerabilities out of the box, so it comes pre-hardened. So we have a team of experts that's monitoring new threats, and constantly assessing their potential impact on our portfolio. So basically, we have a team dedicated to looking at what might be causing problem in our system or any new failure that needs to be patched, and we're doing so with the Streamvault. So as mentioned before, our turnkey appliance offers a guaranteed level of performance, but it also helps fully protect your system. It enforces our best practice. Sorry. So let's go a bit into let's make it easier for you by baking in an hardening tool exclusively made for Streamvault appliance that will keep the units protected against the latest threats. So we also have an hardening guide that can be used if you're using your own system, but the Streamvault will come with everything pre-hardened on them. So out of the box, we have the security, cybersecurity by default. So basically, we're trying to protect everything from what we can do on before even delivering the appliance. Custom group policies, configure. We configure the registry. We set the Windows firewall into virus, the not bias. Force the selection of custom password when you first log into the system. And we also verify all of the Windows update through our Genetech update services. Here's an illustration of what a hardened system might look like. So basically, with our system, we do over 200 plus changes in the settings so that we know it's secured and also it's going to be performing the best. So we are using Silence as the antivirus. I do believe they're changing their name to BlackBerry Protect. Silence is a sub-company of BlackBerry. So this is included, Silence Protect, for 7 years with the Streamvault. When we're saying automated maintenance, this means that all of the Windows update, since the Streamvault is sold by us on an OEM version of Windows, we are able to actually deploy the update from Windows directly on them. So if you were to have your own servers, you would need to by yourself apply all of the Windows update, but the Genetec update service could upgrade your Security Center to the latest version. So here, from within Security Center, we do have a dashboard where you can see all of the information. So we do have a security score or checklist that you can run on the system to see exactly what needs to be addressed in regard to security, to cybersecurity. So like I was saying, with the Genetec update service, we do package the Windows update, Security Center update, and also with the latest version, we do have the camera firmware updates all in a single tool. So from one single location, you can update the entire system. All of the Windows updates are actually tested to be sure that we don't downgrade the performance before applying them. So we will run all of the tests on our appliance for a couple of days before sending them out to live system. And in your system, once we release any of the updates, you will see the notification and you will be prompted to schedule the update on your site. We will never do an automatic update where you would reboot the system by itself. A way to stay ahead of the threats. Deploying an antivirus customized and configured to the solution, integrated that with Windows Update, and use third-party penetration tests to remain vigilant. This is something you design for today. If you are using the Streamvault device in your design, then we have taken that off your list of requirements. So basically, you do not have to do all of that. It's already done on our site. So let's talk a bit about the ownership cost of servers. Many of you have heard that your customer or sales staff, what is the total cost of ownership, or the TCO? I'm not going to teach you how to calculate the TCO of a solution, but instead tell you that we have taken into account with Streamvault getting more performance out of every dollar spent. And by doing all of those hardening steps in configuration, we are reducing your installation and maintenance costs as well. Lastly, if you have been in the industry for any time, you know many customers are used to letting security equipment run much longer than the standard refresh cycle of 3 to 5 years that most of the IT organization would follow. The Streamvault device, take this into consideration, allowing you to extend the server or hardware while reducing the overall cost, support cost. So by default, all of the Streamvault will come with a 5 years warranty. So this would cover most of the problem that you would have with the server. Streamvault appliance support more security device per appliance, letting you deploy fewer appliance or servers and reduce the total cost of ownership. So like we were saying before, if we go with an all-out system, the Streamvault could go up to 2,000 megabit per second, where a regular server can go now up to 500 megabit per second. If you are not aware of this, in the 5.9 release, we've released a new section where the archiver can now do 500 megabit per second. So we have the recommended server that is 300 megabit per second. We have included one in between the Streamvault and the recommended that can do up to 500 megabit per second of recording. So you might want to check the latest system requirement guide for 5.9. So to come back, not only will the Streamvault allow you to have less server, but since we have smaller SVs that double as workstation, we're able to decrease the overall footprint of your customer's system. You also reduce maintenance and support costs. With the Streamvault solution, you have a single number to call for technical support, no matter the root case. So basically, if you have an issue with that, you only call Genetec, and that's it. You don't have to call multiple people. If you have a problem with your camera, you call Genetec. If it's a problem with the server, then our technical support will take care of it as well. In the end, Streamvault will allow you to deploy and maintain physical security infrastructure equipment more efficiently, and to achieve more with fewer units. I remember earlier okay, I asked if you accounted for hardening hours when designing a system. So when you're doing your own system, you do have to take into account the hardening of a system. So it can we now most often no one is going to spend more than 5 hours configuring a system, so extra work is a free value add. So on-site technician will spend a lot more time to be able to configure everything. So with the Streamvault, you would spend, okay, if you took on the task with common of the shelf equipment, you would need to spend more than 11 hours of configuration time to get the same equal solution as a Streamvault. So for all applicable items, we have lowered and upper the estimate and give 90% confidence interval. So user management, we don't do much difference. In the system, you will spend an hour doing the entire system. Oops, sorry, my bad. For the system, you'll spend an hour configuring Windows and everything. The Genetec update service will cut up 1 to 3 hours of time, and so on. So we have a bunch of cut down from the Streamvault appliance that will apply and will result in about 11 hours of savings. So the TCO, it's more than only reducing the hardware footprint. So let's analyze only the deployment cost, which is in general represent 10 to 15% of the cost of the security system. So quote from, it takes between 4 to 8 hours for a technician to prepare a server, and staging time is a must. this is not an added value, but it's not an added value task, but end user training is added value. So as we can see here, so the pre-staging will take up to 8 hours. The installation would take 10 hours, the configuration another 8 hours, the system hardening of 4 hours, and then the training. So as we can see here, the pre-staging would be done. Pre-staging would be done. The let's just continue. My bad. Sorry. So as we can see here, so the integrator would be deploying would spend time 30 hours for deploying, and the added value of the training would take 6 hours, and the client would spend only 6 hours for all of the training. So let's change that with the Streamvault. So here we can change the time with the Streamvault to 17 hours of deploying and 13 hours to spend time with the customer so they can use the full potential of Security Center. So the streamlined deployment of the maintenance. So basically, with the Streamvault, you rapidly configure the network and computer settings. Well, that makes no sense. On my bad. Sorry. So here, I'm just missing a slide. So the Streamvault control panel. So each of the Streamvault comes with a control panel pre-installed. So you can rapidly configure the network directly from the control panel. We do have the directory database and settings backup available in the control panel. And also we can encrypt backup that is stored locally, and we can also store the last 5 backup encrypted in the cloud. So as you can see here, we can do a backup either locally or in a cloud. So this is included with the Streamvault. Here's how we extend the service life of the solution you design. There's a 1 year. So 1 year advanced replacement for all of the models. Sorry about that. So 1 year advanced replacement for all the models. So if you have any problem with the Streamvault, we're going to send you one before taking the other back. Then we have the 5 years on the rack mount. So 5 years next business day. So if you need anything, we're gonna send a Dell employee on site to either replace the hardware or replace the server. And also, you do keep your drive. So for privacy protection, for protection of the information that's stored on the hard drive, you will keep all of the hard drive on site. We will never leave with them. So the advanced replacement will prevent system interruption. Since you do not have to remove the server and send it back before getting a new one. 5 year, keeping your own drive. So unanswered service model, focus on high value task while our expert take care of the system configuration. So instead of taking your time or taking the technician time to do all the preparation, the Streamvault will all be prepared for you. And increase your margin of your service by reducing the TCO. Get all of the added benefits of the Streamvault at no extra cost, because basically the Streamvault will be pretty much the same price or slightly higher price than buying your own server, but you will be able to do a lot more with it. Increase this stickiness with cybersecurity, maintenance tools, and certified updates. So this way that the customer will always be secured on this side. Again, so we do have a single source of support. So anything that comes in having a trouble with the Genetec system all goes through our tech support line. So if it's either a software problem or the hardware, so everything goes to Genetec. So it makes it even easier for you to get support. So let's look at the designing with confidence. So using a Streamvault means that the performance is guaranteed and we certify this system design. The appliance will come pre-installed with our software. Our embedded update tools will ensure optimal security and performance. And once you finalize your setup, you can do your backup, so either locally or in a cloud, so that in case of a failure, you will be able to access it easily. Streamvault will give you a peace of mind because it's going to protect a margin on your largest purchase and deployment. The performance and the system design is guaranteed. The appliances are fully hardened, and the resilient solution that you can rely on. Before I go with the wrap up, is there anything on your side, Howard?
No, Bruno, thanks. I've been able to answer the questions that have been asked.
Thank you. Today we covered three main areas. So what is a Streamvault, the Streamvault portfolio, and why use a Streamvault? So we learned that the Streamvault is made of four main families, including the all-in-one, the rack mount, the appliance, the workstation, and the analytic units. Next, we explored each area of the portfolio. We concluded with our design consideration with the section on why select Streamvault and so how securing your deployment along with lowering the cost of ownership helps you to design with confidence and lets you not forget. Let's not forget, with the confidence and lower cost of the deployment allows you to provide additional value to the customer and set you apart from your competition. Now that you have completed this section of the system design, you understand the Streamvault portfolio and can select hardware needed for your security center application with expertise. So this should be it. No. So before we spend some time in question and answers, which Howard probably has done all over the session, I would like to share some additional information, additional resource. So we have spoken on this webinar. So if you want to go on, if you go on the resource.genetec.com, you will see all of the data sheet from all of the Streamvault servers that we have. So if you go on the tech docs will supply with a bunch of information. And if you go on a portal, you will see also a bunch of documents on the ordering guide or the product catalogs of the Streamvault device. We also have a YouTube channel where you can see the training and also other information from Genetec itself. So these are really good if you want to train, if you want to show the end user or even new employees this will give a great learning experience for them. Pre-sale support from Genetech. So if you have any pre-sale question, you can send the question to channelsales@genetech.com. So mainly these are for any quotes that you need. Salesengineering@genetech.com. If you have special project that you need assistance with, to be sure to have the best solution possible, you can send an email here and we're going to have one of our sales engineer answer back to you. And all inquiries related to the purchase or the status of an order would go through customer service. This is the support line. So any problems that we have that you would have with Genetech, any support needed, might it be for the hardware, so anything with the Streamvault or anything with the software, you can go directly here. So you can call us, chat on a portal, and we will be happy to help you solve the problem. So thank you very much for assisting. If you have any question, feel free to ask them. We will be monitoring for a couple of minutes the questions here.
Well, it looks like the number of questions has slowed down quite a bit, so I think we're going to end the session today. Thank you all for attending the Streamvault System Design training, and we hope to see you back at another product-related webinar soon. Have a good weekend.